I want to talk a little bit about the color palette in this lesson, and I took one of our beautifully illustrated plants and filled it with color, as you can see here. And what I can show you is how you can create your own custom colors. Now, I'm going to go, in this example, I'm going to change arrows, and I want to show you something. I clicked on my third arrow, and every time you change arrows, you click away just to make sure that nothing is highlighted. And if you notice, I'm going to click on the leaves, and I was actually able to, in this design, I can color all of the leaves at one time. And it was the same thing if I clicked on these little flowers here. I was able to actually color them all at the same time. If I zoom in, you might be able to detect they are a very kind of light creamy color. But I want to show you something with regard to those red flowers. And in this case, I'm just going to do some detail work. So I'm going to change over to my second arrow, click away, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab that red flower. Oh, and I just want to emphasize that even though I was able to grab all of the leaves at one time using that third arrow, or I could grab all of those little flowers at one time using the third arrow, you can always grab the individual flowers using your second arrow. So you always have that option. But I'm going to go back to this red flower. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my properties box again, and I'll stick it. And as you can see, my color box there is reflecting the red of the flower. But if I wanted to make that more pastel, I'm going to double click on this color box. Now your color palette will open up, and normally it'll open up to this swatch tab. And as you can see down here in the lower right corner, our flower is this color of red. Now if you wanted to kind of tailor that color of red, you can check out this tab here at the top. It's called HSB. And HSB stands for Hue, Saturation, and Brightness. And you can change that color of the red. If you notice again down here in the right hand corner, it'll show you the color that you are currently working with. And if you can see here on the left side, that little white circle, that white circle is showing you where you are on the color palette. So if you want to make that red more pastel, you just drag that circle over to the right and maybe move it up. Now notice our color box on the lower right corner is changing. Do you see that? And as I move my circle more to the upper right corner, it is getting more and more pastel. And I can just leave it right there. And if I click on OK, my flower has turned pink. Now I can go back in and I'm going to highlight my flower, and I'm going to again double click on my color box here. And my color palette opened up, and we are on now the HSB tab that stands for Hue, Saturation, and Brightness. I want to point out one more thing. We are currently in the red. And if you look at this arrow right here, you see you can move that arrow. I've now changed to kind of the orangish hue. And you can just move that arrow down and you will run through the colors of the rainbow. But I'm going to go back up and go more back into the reddish color. There. So make sure that you explore your color palette. You can literally get any shade of the rainbow that you want. And I've moved back up to that reddish and that pastel pink. Now, if the color palette looked a little distorted, it's because I am recording this lesson on the computer, but you will not see that distortion on your computer. So if I click on OK, there, my flower is a pretty pink.